He's been fine. He's been fine. Just okay, as far as just where we are practice-wise. I mean, we're not anywhere near where we need to be or I want us to be. I think just very kind of average yesterday and today, to be honest with you. It's a little different challenge for us this year. As I've said, last several years when we've started bowl practice, school's been over and we've had all bowl focus. But everything's pushed back a week later, so we've been having to balance finals and prepping for that, recruiting. There's been a lot on this week, so just not quite the edge or the focus that we need yesterday or today. So thankfully today was the last day of finals, so starting tomorrow we'll have hopefully full attention on what we got to do to get ready to play this ball game. But so I mean, not terrible, but just pretty average first couple days. But we'll ramp it up tomorrow.
I thought there was some truth in what you were joking with Nick about the other night about nobody good enough to be a finalist. But does it seem like maybe this team has been more about team than individuals this year?
Well, I mean, I don't know if that insinuates last year being about individuals, and it wasn't, because last year they were a great team, very unselfish group, guys that were great teammates. They were just more high-profile guys that just got people wrote about and talked about more. But I think that's probably the biggest difference is this team's just kind of been just not as highly publicized. Some of the individuals. We had some big personalities like Bo Ware last year. Deshaun wasn't necessarily a big personality, but he was a big presence. But I think that these guys have just kind of been businesslike all year, and they've really done a great job of getting ready and finding ways to win, regardless of the situation. But they definitely have been every sense of the word, they've been a very close team.
Does your style change when you have so many guys that have been through this process with media attention and knowing what's in store when they get down to New Orleans?
Does my style change?
Your process, or?
No. I mean, we just do what we do. Whether we got 100 seniors or 6, we just do what we do. I mean, we're gonna practice. We're gonna get ready, and at the end of the day, players got to go play. I mean, we're gonna get them a great plan, and we're gonna put them through the preparation that they need to, and but teams have to take ownership of the opportunity in front of them. But we'll do what we do as far as here at Clemson, and then once we get to the bowl site, we believe in what we do and challenge the leadership to kind of carry the task at hand.
Is the biggest difference between this third matchup with Alabama the fact that both teams have so much more time to game plan for each other, more of a chess match in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I think even when you only had a week, it was still you have the same amount of time, but it's definitely the biggest difference because both teams, it'll be it's a long time longer for them than us, a week longer because we did play a championship game, but long time since you've been on the field. It's not as quick a turnaround. And even though, when you go into last year when we went into the Ohio State game, we had already had Washington and Alabama broken down completely, so we were ready. We had all of our scouting report stuff done. So you always have that stuff done, but you just have more time to practice to get ready for the opponent. So that's the biggest difference for sure, but it's the same for both teams.
There's a guy standing right over there that I look at him and I think of 2013 and the preparation for the LSU bowl game. Do you think you're where you are today without that win? That here we are and we think we belong now?
I don't know about that win, but probably not here without that guy. I mean, and that was 2012 in the LSU game. 2013 was Ohio State that season. So, again, that was a huge game, but I think. The fact that Taj came here and was that first quarterback to win that first 10-win season, our first ACC championship. Now we're going for year 8, 10-win seasons next year, and that was that first big bowl win, and now we've won a bunch of big bowl wins. So he definitely was a guy that paved the path here. And, you know, he and Deshaun and Rodney are the winningest quarterbacks in the history of the school. So, again, that game was a big moment, but it's more about that guy and who he was as a player and how he represented our program and how he bought in. And, he was coachable and, you know, laid it on the line every single week for the Tigers.
Speaking of,
How has Saban and his defense over the years evolved to defend all the stuff that comes with spread offenses?
Yeah, just change, just personnel. I mean, I think they recruited some different type of guys, and then just you know, that nickel Sam position. That's kind of like you see guys like what we got. We'll play a lot of nickel. They play a lot of nickel, just because of the style of play. Used to, they were a heavy, you know, Sam backer type of a guy. Just I think personnel. And you look at some of these guys that they've recruited in there coming off the edge, and then also how they coach the ends, how they coach the outside backers, the technique. Just simply because of more knowledge of spread offenses and things like that. That's probably the biggest thing. And then what they see in their league has forced that. You know, it's not just lining up and people running the ball anymore. I mean, so you got to be able to defend running quarterbacks. So I think they've recruited a lot of DBs and more athletic guys.
since we're reminiscing about the Taj Boyd era, Chad Morris made a lot of news getting the Arkansas job the other day. Have you reached out to him at all? And since then, how nice is it to see him kind of move up the coaching ranks?
Oh, it's great. Oh, yeah. I've talked to him several times before he got the job, and once he got it, and just tickled to death for him. You know, really, I think it's a good fit for him because I think if you're going to be successful in Arkansas, you probably need to have some Texas ties. So I think that's a good transition for him there, and you know, and I think that he's at a place that's going to have the resources and the commitment to go try to compete at the highest level. And I'm sure they got probably a ways to go, but if they'll hang in there with him, he'll get them going. He'll put a good staff together, and you know, they'll go recruit. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, that's, you know, you got to go recruit. I think they did that at SMU. I mean, you can be a great coach when they win one game his first year, so you better go recruit some players. And it's all about the players, and that's what they did. And so they got a little better the second year, and this year they were able to, you know, get to a bowl game. So I think, even though the record wasn't great, I think you got to look behind that and recognize that. And they did a great job at SMU. That place was not in a good spot, and you know, so different situation that they're coming into now, but you know, they'll get out and recruit and they'll get it going. I'm really happy for he and Paula.
Now that exams are over and you get these guys full time, what is your schedule like for the next 10 days or so, right up until Christmas?
Well, we'll be back out here tomorrow, and you know, so yesterday and today and tomorrow, 3 physical days. We had some live work yesterday, some live work today, some more live work tomorrow. So 3 really tough days. Sunday we'll back off and just have meetings. Then we're going to come back Monday and have a community service day, meetings, and walkthrough. So really kind of structured practice that way. You know, 3 tough days in a row: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday more mental, and slow it down a little bit, and then ramp it back up Tuesday and Wednesday, a couple physical days, and then next Thursday's graduation, which is also a week later. So, you know, everything's just kind of totally different schedule for us. But so our graduates will be off next Thursday, and then we'll come back in on Friday the 22nd, and that'll be kind of our like a normal game week Thursday practice for us. Kind of, you know, trying to have the game plan done and ready to go if we need to go play, you know, by next Friday the 22nd, and then we're going to take a few days off. And guys will come back here on the 26th, and we'll practice here on the 27th. Kind of have our Monday type practice, and fly to New Orleans and have a normal game week there, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday prep there.
Are you going to use all 15 practices that you get? You think you'll be able to use all 15?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What do you plan on doing for community service?
We've got the Call Me Mr. program here that we partner up with, and they've got a bunch of kids that'll be coming to spend the day with us, and we give them shoes. It's a great day for our players to be able to spend time with them. Our team will be divided up into 3 groups, and they'll spend time with the kids doing different things, and then we finish it up with a little talk to them, and then we give them a little gift from Santa. So it's always a lot of fun. Our players do a great job of handling it.
I know you guys have a plan you believe in as far as getting ready for the bowl. How much is the timing, the schedule, and that kind of stuff? Has that been a big challenge?
It's been a challenge in just, having to, because when you don't have classes, just like practice at this time. It's just pretty easy. But we're doing the same thing. We've had to, because you have to start practice this week. It wasn't like we could just say, hey, let's don't practice. We got to get ready. So we just have had to practice at different times. We had to practice at 7:15 Tuesday night. So it's been kind of funky from a when we practice standpoint. But today was kind of getting on a normal routine, and tomorrow will be a normal Saturday for us, and then all next week, same thing.
I'm guessing you and Coach Saban have the same dinner wager, or have the stakes gone up a little bit for the rubber match?
I don't know. We hadn't discussed that. I'm sure we will.
Anything else?
I got one more pertaining to your former assistants. Billy Napier just named head coach at
Did he
Louisiana.
get it?
Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
So I take it you're pretty happy for him. Then.
Absolutely, yeah. Tim had asked me for a quote earlier, and I didn't know if it was public or not, but I'm really happy for him, man. I've got 2 branches now. 2 branches. Proud of Billy, man. Billy, he did a great job for us, and he's a bright young coach, and I'm just proud of what he's gone out and done, and to get that opportunity is a big step for him, and I'm sure he's excited to put a good staff together and go to work.
It's got to feel kind of cool. You're coaching Tree, just getting bigger one.
Monstrous. Yeah. No, it's great. That's great.
Thank you.